Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tele-Story, because it's telephone and storytelling. It's such a good name.
Cleverness.
I know, so punny, so good. I hope you had fun last week. I had fun, or not last. Well, I hope you had fun last week watching a very special episode of
It
the
was
Evergreen
yeah.
Chronicle.
Yes.
But I hope you had fun the week before when we had our very first Tele-Story where we heard the lovely story of Bear With Me. Tonight we're hearing Valan Wren,
Oh man.
which
Mhm.
I'm very excited for. Um, yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day, staying safe. It's
Yeah, we got a
storming
hurricane
outside.
coming through. Yeah, that's fun.
Honestly, the most normal thing to come out of 2020,
True though.
Yep.
Yeah.
hurricane season.
Mm-hmm. I
Pretty
look forward
standard.
to it, to be honest.
Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. We've lived through some nightmares already.
Mhm.
But yeah, how's everyone doing? Thoughts, feelings, questions, ideas?
Let's roll that
Doing
beautiful
good.
bean footage.
Danced in the rain for the
Mhm.
hurricane, just
Yep.
because. Why not?
We did miss you
Oh.
last week, very much so.
I
the
missed
week
you
before,
guys
you know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was not as much fun to make fun of you when you weren't here.
Yeah.
much better when you get my facial expressions with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I know.
It's no fun to laugh at you. We're supposed to laugh with you. It makes us better people.
I mean,
If we
I
laugh
love
with
laughing at you. That's
Right.
my personal feeling.
But
You want to
Tara's
know a
just an awful
secret?
person, so
I love laughing at me too.
See, that's why you need to be here.
Yeah. The main joke was that you invented automobiles in the
Right.
world of Grandia.
You did.
I don't know how to back it up. Or anything else. Like, I don't dance, so I want to back it up.
You just put it in,
Dance if you want
leadership.
to.
but in
you put
reverse,
it in
yeah.
reverse, Danny.
Put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Yeah.
Right.
Turn in
You're
the
fucking
when you
yep.
Come on.
We all tried it.
Okay. We all tried it.
Yep.
Okay, so let us start the evening with the one and only Valan Wren telling us a beautiful, lovely story about a time in his past. So,
Mhm.
the drum roll.
Let's do it. I would like to tell you all a story, if you would permit me. It's a tale of a chance encounter with a traveling troupe of entertainers. It was during my time as an apprentice in the Order, and touring Carnival visited a village just outside the Blush. Moonstone was its name, of the village, not the Carnival. No, the Carnival was called Karloff's Spectacular Cadre of Curiosities and Wonders, and it was spectacular indeed. One of the acts included a vegan vampire, vegan in that he sustained himself solely on animal blood, who would dive gracefully toward a tiny metallic hoop, and at the last possible second, he would transform himself into a bat and swoosh through. There was also a sandy blonde halfling girl who would change into all manner of beasts, birds, and the like, after which she proceeded to perform some of the most breathtaking and awe-inspiring stunts that I've ever seen. The best member of the troupe, though, that had to be a young goblin girl named Philofty. She had the voice which came from the heavens themselves, and with it she entranced all. I was no different, which perhaps partially compelled me in what happened next. It was after the show when we, my fellow apprentices and I, had overheard Karloff speaking with the authorities. It turns out that Philofty was nowhere to be found, and this was very unlike her. So, eager to help and eager to be of service, we quickly went on the hunt to try and find her. It only took us an hour or two to track her down, and she wound up, she was in a cave that was being patrolled by a small Knoll hunting party. And not to our surprise, there were a few other hostages being held there as well. So we sprung into action, distracting the Knolls long enough to save the captives and make our way back to Moonstone. And as a show of gratitude for Philofty's return, Karloff made a sizable donation to our temple. And as a way to check up on her and make sure she was okay, I visited with Philofty every day until the carnival departed. During that time, we would talk. She about Carnival life and me about life at the monastery. She would speak in Goblin and me in Elvish, translating for one another as we went. That's been some time now, years ago, and I often wonder how she's doing.
Guess we lost the last little bit there. You got the gist of it.
You definitely
Oh,
messed
man.
up her name.
I've never heard that story before in my life.
Oh,
Really?
that makes me so happy.
I don't know
was
what
actually
story was told to me, but that wasn't it.
I was actually proud of me and Tara. I was like, okay, we got about 50 to 60% of this right.
Nope, didn't make it.
Oh,
Didn't make it past me and Danny. Danny didn't
I mean,
give
I
her
will
a
tell you
chance.
this now. Falafty did not keep
Nope.
her name.
did not.
Did not keep her name.
Mm-hmm.
Makes
a
so much
chance.
I'm
sense
just
where
stoic.
you got her name from, though, Tara. Like that. Fluffy is a great name, but I see where you came from.
Thank you. I wasn't too far off, but I was definitely a different name.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
man.
I'm excited to see where this goes.
Right.
It was such
boy.
a sweet story
was.
too.
It is.
Going a
it's
different
such
direction than
Yeah.
Yeah.
what Bear went with.
Yeah. Train wreck.
Yeah.
In like 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like
Oh, yeah,
it's
well,
also
that's-
it was also very interesting because it's like I only think of Val as someone who's like, I'm on a mission to find the Emerald
Mhm.
Dragon, and
Mhm.
I was tortured in some fashion because I'm a tortured soul. Like that's all I get like a man who like keeps things very tightly like
Mm.
held to him and doesn't
Mhm.
share. So I'm like, okay, so he was at a carnival first of all. He
Yep.
went to a carnival
Right.
with his friends to have a good time, still being monks, of course. And
Mhm.
then he goes, hangs out with this girl, and they talk about stuff, and they just like become friends. And I'm like, oh,
Valan does have a heart.
Mm.
This is a newsflash for probably most people. Valan has a heart.
Mm.
Sensitive folk.
Yep.
Aw.
He
And
is
it's funny, I
very
started
sensitive.
writing that story probably once we decided to do this, and I changed a few details, but kept a lot of it the same. I was like, I want to stick with how Valan would tell the story for one, but what he would divulge. So yeah,
Interesting.
Mm.
Yep. it was a good time.
Yep. I hope the train has off-road tires because it's no longer on the track. It's no longer.
Oh
on the
man,
track.
I cannot wait to see what we end up with because it's going to.
Ugh.
There was some stuff I intentionally threw in there. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit more difficult, but the other parts are like, okay, this is pretty simple, right?
Yeah, like that stupid name of that stupid carnival. I was like, I literally sat there and I was like, how dare you give me
Yeah.
a complicated series of words that I'm going to try to remember now.
Yeah, that's you guys are welcome, and
Mhm, mhm.
yeah, I can provide entertainment for everybody.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
Mm,
No, it was good. It was good.
No,
All right.
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Any
Yeah.
thoughts, feelings? Larry, was
I'm-
there anything about like when you were creating this story that you were like, how much do I tell? How much don't I tell? Like, or how close did you want to get to like your
But it-
character's like current psyche? Like, how close did you want to get there? Or did you want to tell the story like way off before anything changed for this character?
I mean, in my mind, this story takes place pretty far back because I think I've got Valan kind of in his early 30s, and he's been with the monastery since he was about a teenager. And in my mind, this probably takes place around that time, somewhat during that time period, like early on, still very much young and probably a little impulsive with things and eager to prove himself, especially like that whole springing into action thing. That was like impulse, like we're just going to do it. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what it went to it. I mean, like most of us, I'm sure, since we're trying to keep a certain time limit, it's like, okay, I have to cut out details
Yep.
because if I put in too much, this is going to be a 10-minute video, and then we're all going to be angry. So I
Wait,
had to
you-
kind of keep an eye out.
You cut out details.
Think about too. I was like,
Uh-huh.
hold up. That's less information.
That is less information.
Because you
I had
packed a
some-
lot of information in like what, 2.5, 3 minutes.
Yeah,
It was about
a
2.5
lot.
minutes. I had to work it right because Valen has a certain like Terry said cadence to how he speaks. So
He does have a
it's
cadence.
methodical. It's thought out. It's very kind of slow moving in a way. So to balance that with telling a good story that has some detail but not too much, and keeping it all within about a 2-minute time frame. I think I wound up going 2:15, 2.5, something like that. So it wasn't too bad.
I'm excited to see your face when you get to hear Bear's version of Valen's cadence.
Oh, me too. I am ready to hear everybody's.
Yep.
All right. Well then to create a good segue here, the next one up in the lineup was me.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried very hard to do a Valan impression. Because apparently that's my thing now.
Oh, I'm excited for this one.
So yeah,
Yes.
let's let her rip.
Okay, so this is a story that Valan told me, so I shall tell it to you. Let's get into Valan voice. I would like to tell you a story, if you will permit me, about a wandering troupe of circus performers that I happened upon while in the order near the Blush. Moonstone was the name of the village, but the name of the troupe was Karloff's spectacular cadre of curiosities and wonderments. And they performed spectacular feats. There was a vegan vampire, vegan because he survived on animal blood. And he would do this trick where he would jump towards a small hoop and at the last minute turn into a bat. There was a halfling who would turn herself into different beasts and birds and animals of the like. And there was another small goblin. No. Goblin? It wasn't gnome. Goblin girl who had a beautiful voice, angelic. And it was her that I found most hypnotizing. And after the show, my fellow monks and I went backstage to talk to Karloff, and we found out that the beautiful voice who has a name, Falafel, had disappeared. And so the order and we all went out and searched for her and found her in a cave that was being guarded by a hunting party, and there were other people in the cave as well that perhaps had been taken, and we worked together, the monks, the order, to fight these hunters and distract them to return Falafel and the others back to the rightful places. And while the carnival remained in town, I frequented and checked up on Falafel to make sure that she was okay. Obviously, the carnival moved on, and I haven't heard from her in a long time. I often wonder what happened to her.
Woo!
All right.
Oh,
That was fun.
y'all, I don't know
Yep.
why I thought this was gonna be a fun idea to do, because it's entertaining to rewatch, but like in the doing of it,
Oh yeah.
I just sit there in like panic mode. Like I'm just in total panic the entire time.
Yep. Because you're sitting there watching, like, okay, gotta remember.
Right.
Oh, and then you forget everything the moment you hit record. Everything just goes whoop, out the window.
Nice.
Yeah, falafel got a new name.
Yep. I appreciate that. Falafel,
The tea was dropped. The tea was dropped.
amongst other things. Yeah.
The falafel
Yep.
tea.
Spill the tea.
Spilled the tea in the Boston.
The Boston Black Band have
Boston
Boston Harbor.
Valen
they
sounds a
dropped the
little
tea.
slow.
Yeah, he was very slow because he was thinking real hard.
Had to get his words in the right.
You gotta get the
Yeah.
words in the right order.
Yep.
So does Asura think that Valen's a really slow person? That's like
Ooh.
extra.
Yeah, since this
The
was
layer.
Asura
I mean,
telling
It's
the
like
I
I'll
mean-
analyze this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's.
Why did
Yes, I
Asura
think-
go full Shatner?
Oh my god. Can I
Oh,
emote?
If you would permit me. To a story.
Well, I didn't even try to go See, I'm a terrible Shatner impersonator, but now I
Oh.
just do Val, and then I can do a great Shatner.
Yeah, just do a Valen impression, and everybody will think,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's a great Shatner."
Wow, such a good
Mhm.
Shatner. So innovative, so talented. And I'm like,
Innovative.
innovative. Yeah, that was.
And don't feel bad, Tara. You're about to hear an even worse impression of Alan. So
Oh
I
man.
love it. I love it. I love
that we're all doing
I would
impressions.
love it if everyone tried to impersonate each other, only because
Mhm.
it's quite funny to listen to everyone's interpretation of each other.
Mhm.
Mm.
nope. Stoic
However-
doesn't do that.
I was like, however, it's not required.
No, it's not.
It's just as entertaining
Uh.
to listen to your own character retell what they heard.
Yep, because
Mm.
Easy doing Easy's voice with everything else that we do, perfectly okay with that.
I'm really excited to try to do Easy's voice though.
oh, I can't wait.
It'd
I'm
be
nervous
fun.
and excited. Yeah.
I
I
am
will-
not as good as accents as I think I am.
I will admit I didn't cheat. I only listened to it once, but I did record it twice because I tried to do Stoic doing Valen. It was like, oh, this is a no. Stopped after about 10 seconds. It was like, I'm gonna start this over.
No, I gotta.
alternate version.
Oh, man.
Alternate version.
I want to hear Stoic impersonating Valen now. That sounds amazing.
No,
Oh.
that's incredible.
When we actually get, when we get subscribers, like that'll be subscriber content. His
There we go.
You know, when people care that we're talking out loud.
Oh, it was rough.
Oh, I didn't
It was
mean to be
rough.
So mean. I didn't mean to be so mean to myself.
Oh man.
but that was
Oh.
amazing, Tara.
Yep.
Good job. You, I
Yes.
think you got a
Beautifully
lot of
done.
stuff
Like
right.
I said,
the
60 to
details.
70%.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
a lot. There were a lot of details that made it through, so that was impressive.
So
Yeah, I mean, I lost some of the kind of fine tuning story,
Yeah.
like the quality of storytelling. I lost some of it just to get content, like just to like get the information. But
It's funny when I saw your video it'd be like 3 minutes. I'm like, wow, she recorded a lot of stuff. Now I see why. I was like, oh, this is going to take a long time to
because
get
she
to.
sat there going, "What's the word?"
did,
I almost said,
did I mishear in the beginning? Did she say brush?
Blush.
She said blush.
Blush.
"Blush."
Okay,
Blush,
that's
yeah.
what I thought she said.
Blush.
Yep.
Making sure.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Because I was wondering where that word
Oh, boy.
came from in the later renditions of this
Yes.
story.
That's what makes
Oh,
me laugh.
oh,
By
that-
the way.
Yeah, same
That
here.
changed, huh?
Uh,
Cannot wait for that.
yeah.
Was
So
that
we
even the
got
word?
falafel.
Did I even remember that word right?
It was
the
blush. Yeah, it was blush.
That was blush.
Was it?
Yeah. the
Okay.
blush.
It got changed.
Oh no. I don't remember doing that.
I should learn how to articulate.
I mean, it's something we can all. Because that was something I was worried about was whether I was articulating enough for my words to be understood.
No, you were understood
That sounds
perfectly. I'm just a garbage person at remembering things short term.
Which is
Up
why
until-
this game is so fun.
You start losing the detail
Exactly.
at the sandy brown hair halfling girl. That's where some of the details started to get lost a little bit. But up to
Sure,
that
I
point,
was
you
just
were
trying to
dead
remember
on.
races. I was like, I think there's other races involved
Mhm.
here.
Yep.
I
Good
was like,
stuff.
I was always like going back and rewatching and like watching my panic face, like the like.
Mhm.
"Ugh." It's cringy. I love it. All right, so then after me, I sent it on to Jeb,
Mhm.
Mhm.
who watched what the monstrosity I gave, and
Mhm.
I'm excited to see where the story
Yeah.
goes now.
Yep. Let's find
Oh,
out.
Roll it.
Mhm.
Okay, So, Asura told me a story that Valan told her, so I'm gonna retell that to you. So, this is my best impression of the Valan voice. I was once walking in the thrush of the woods next to a village called Moonstone, and in Moonstone there is a traveling carnival called Karlov's Curiosities and Wonderment. They had a vegan vampire because he only drank animal blood. I'm lost Valen's voice. I'm sorry. There was a vegan vampire who only drank animal blood, and he would turn into a bat when he jumped to a little small hoop. They had other things there too. There was a goblin or a halfling named Falafel, who sang most beautifully, just like had my heart whenever she sang. There was someone else there in the circus that I've forgotten completely. But anyway, Falafel was really what I was after, and I went to go backstage after the show to like say hello to her and tell her that I thought she was great, but she wasn't there. So my monk friends and I, we went and searched for her. We found her in a cave guarded by hunters, along with other people from Karlov's Curiosities and Wonderments, who had been trapped by these hunters. So my monk and I, we rescued Falafel and the other carnival people, got them back to the show, and I went and saw Falafel many times after that, and I would check up on her to make sure she was doing okay. And the carnival has moved on since then. They no longer are at Moonstone. But that was a fun time, and I hope that one day I get to see Falafel again. Again, she had a very lovely voice, so that would be nice.
What's funny, like
Oh, man.
that voice sounds a lot different than what I have, like my whole deep voice thing. But that was actually the voice I wanted to try to do at the beginning when I was creating Valan, but I just could never get there. So I was like, we're going to abandon that and just
What is Why does he sound like a college radio DJ?
I know, right?
That's what I was thinking.
What?
Smooth Jams 89.
Yeah.
They're
Next.
tuned in to Carolina States, where we're going to be taking a look at some indie artists.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Oh, man.
That brings me back to my college days.
Oh,
I love it.
The AP
Oh, man.
report says X.
I tried,
it
y'all.
was
I tried.
It
amazing.
was so good. It was so good. It also got ever so slightly like almost Trump-like, but didn't quite. like
Never
the
quite
tone.
got the threshold.
Yeah, like the tone got there, but like the
Oh.
lip rounding didn't happen. So
Oh.
they fixed, like the space.
That's when I
It was
realized
a
I was
great
way
carnival. It's the best. It's
Huge.
amazing.
It was huge.
Huge.
Bigly.
Bigly.
Biggest ever.
God. But
It's a great carnival.
Falafel,
Everyone
Oh.
liked it.
the
Everyone
best
liked
thing
it.
ever.
Best falafel ever.
I'm not a
I'm
huge
loving.
I'm not a huge fan of chickpeas, but it was the best falafel ever.
I am definitely loving that falafel has made it this far
Oh,
already.
man.
Like,
I'm so sorry that I forgot
Completely
her
different.
name, but I'm
No,
so
that's
happy
okay.
falafel is
yep.
now her name.
yep.
See, I knew that wasn't right, but I was like, that's what I remember, and that's what Tara told me.
So it was
so
there.
I'm gonna
It,
go
it was
with
not right, but that was all I could remember.
I was thankful on mine because I'm like, falafel, I can remember that name. Like,
So remember, that's an easy one to remember.
We lost all the wine last week, but we remember the falafel.
So I just need to name all the NPCs after foods, and you'll be good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
right.
is
Yeah.
Euro.
Is
We
it
will
Hero?
all remember it.
Gyro?
Big Mac.
Gyro, Hero.
No, they're brothers. There's Euro, Gyro, and Hero.
Oh.
Gyro
And their
Euro.
cousin Pesto.
I mean, I want Big Mac, quarter pounder, double quarter pounder.
Oh
You
my
know, just go ahead and
God.
throw all of it in there.
I can't meet any of those people. They'll make me sick.
They all have to be barbarians, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Then they have their foreign cousins named Royale and Royale with cheese.
Yeah.
And an orc named Panini.
Honestly, I would love an orc named Panini.
Yes.
I'm just gonna put that out in the
Oh.
universe now. I want that more than I've wanted anything
Oh,
else in the
man.
world.
I'm down.
More
Hear that,
than
Danny?
happiness and wealth. I just want an orc named Panini.
Panini.
Oh.
But that was such an amazing job, Jeb, that
Thank you.
I knew it was going to be great. The moment that you switched over to the Valan voice, I was like, yep, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing.
I won't lie, I definitely did not pay attention to a little bit of your story because I was just enjoying the
The
soundscape
voice.
that was entering my ears.
Yeah.
And see, I tried, y'all. That's the beauty. I really tried to be Valan, telling the story.
It was very velvety.
So
Yes.
good.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. It was velvety. That was some
that was a very
Velveeta cheese.
smooth
It's
voice.
been
Yeah.
Valan Wren ASMR.
Is it like 2 a.m. in the morning right now? I don't know what time it is. That's what every time I hear that sound, I just go back to 2 a.m.
Like we're just we're sharpening some scythes today. That's our goal.
Me and my battle axe.
Oh.
Oh man.
That was good. That was good though. No, and
Yep.
like a lot of the info remained.
Right?
Didn't
Thank
lose
you.
too much.
Like I
It
said-
started to really fall apart about halfway through. I think it got to the vampire, then like everything just kind of
Yep.
went
Completely
Sure,
figured
and
out.
also
Yeah.
your feelings for this gnome girl or goblin
Yeah.
girl
Okay,
has
getting real strong.
drastically changed.
Yep.
I'll just tell you, they get even stronger.
I gotta tell you,
Spoiler
from-
alert.
from my perspective, like we're 3 stories in so far,
Mhm.
and I still hear the same thing every time. Carnival, like singer, vampire, done.
Of course, you would remember vampire. Of course, vampire would be very important for you.
Resonates with Stoic.
It does.
Vegan vampire.
All right. So then after Jeb was Danny, is that what happened?
Oh yeah.
I cannot wait.
I know. I'm very
Boy,
excited.
I cannot
Oh.
And
wait.
Danny, now that you're here, we can torture
Mhm.
you.
Yep.
even
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not very good at these things. Let's
I
let's
love
have
it. I love
Let's
it. All
have
right. Let's watch Danny's.
Stoic here, and I was sent a story by my Bash brother Bear, who he heard from Asura, who heard from Valan, and it's a story from Valan and his past. And I believe the story is he was once going through a thrush, which I'm guessing is bushes, near a village of Moonstone, and upon entering the village, they stumbled across a carnival. I think it was Carlisle's Curiosities and Wonderment. And upon entering the carnival, they ran into a couple different oddities, such as a vegan vampire who could turn into a bat and go through a small hoop. They also found a hairy dwarf woman that sang like an angel named Falafel. And Valan was so captivated by the show, he decided to go backstage and compliment her. When he tried to locate her, he realized that she was gone and had disappeared. He and his friends tracked them down and discovered them trapped in a cave of some kind. And they rescued them and brought them back to town safely and continued to enjoy the show. And all of the circus folk were thankful, and Valan became good friends with falafel and came back to check on her and listen to her many times again. And that is Valan's story.
Oh man! Like
Oh,
from what information you had from the last one, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like how thrush is now a thing, but
Yeah.
like
Thrush, I think thrush is a real word.
it is, but it's
It is,
like
yeah.
it's like a
bird.
disease that like people like were like they're like it's like dogs like get thrush and like
Mhm.
I thought
Also a
thrush was
bird.
like
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
bird, a
I have
thresher.
birds. Sorry, and it's hard to tell because I was talking over it, but it is whistling the Addams Family theme song the entire
Perfection,
time.
Yes.
Yeah, I could hear something. I was like, do you have like a bard in the background on like a
I was here for it. It created a great atmosphere.
Yeah. Yes, it did. I thought it was maybe your wife messing with you or something like that.
Dude, that is a bird, and that is singing the Addams Family. Yeah. Never
That needs to
stops.
be what happens when you tell your story. Is having the bird in the background singing the Addams Family.
Oh, that's
Well,
fantastic.
I've recently really become addicted to Hamilton, and so I just set
Who
the
hasn't?
speaker. I set the speaker next to the cage, and just play. Like
to get
you're gonna learn the
just
song.
pick it up.
Learn
Just
it.
to get
Oh.
some Alexander Hamilton,
Just
but
wait.
in like whistle format.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
give me like 2 months. That bird. That's all you're here.
Love it.
That's
You should just
great.
play the King song on repeat,
Yes.
so you can just get the you
Da,
belong.
da, da, da. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Da,
You
da,
should get that
yep.
full whistle tone the whole time.
Be great.
That'd be A+.
Oh, man.
I'm here for it. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
I mean that wasn't too bad though, Danny. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
you,
well,
you
thank
did
you.
you did invent a dwarf, which I thought was
Very.
Did.
fun.
So in my defense, I watched The Vampire's Apprentice
Uh-huh.
like
At
the
10 o'clock.
the day before
Mm-hmm.
doing this, and so I heard vegan vampire, and instantly everything in the freak show and that whole movie just popped in my head, and I was struggling to disassociate the two stories, and so
See,
yeah.
I had a different thing because when you said Cabal, all I could think was that book, Johannes Cabal the Necromancer. And all I could think about was that story, which has to do with a carnival where like they set up a carnival to steal souls. So like I was thinking about that story in my head. So I had a really hard time like
Separate 'em.
undoing
Yeah.
those like
Yep.
stories in my brain.
Yep.
So you heard Cabal, but I never said Cabal.
See, but I
It's
didn't
like
use the
Cabal.
term, but in my head when
Yeah.
I said C word, I was like Cabal. And then in
And
my
then you
head,
went-
that's all I could think
yeah.
about.
Yep.
Because you didn't, because you said it was
Cadra.
Cadra. That was
Yeah.
the word. And I got it right in my response, but I
did.
had such a hard time finding because I said C word, and in my head I went Cabal. Because that's the first C word I think about.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Not gonna touch it.
Nope.
There you go.
Good.
Not
I
without
trained you
permission,
well.
Jeb.
Yeah.
You need consent.
That's the C word I think about. Consent.
Consent. 5 C's, everyone. 5 C's.
Yeah.
Consent is one of them.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
really enjoying how like the last part of the story is just like a fast forward of just it's gone in like no time. We go from the vampire and then the story's done. It's like, wait, what?
just-
There's like stuff missing.
But you do end up
Important
falling more and
details.
more in love with this.
Harry Dwarf.
That's right. This
I mean,
I think
I'm
we just
interested
went-
where it winds up.
I think we were just so interested in the weird romance that was starting to sprout between you
Apparently.
and that rich governess that we're just like, you know what? We're gonna
Okay.
lean into this.
Because I heard, what's that movie? I heard The Sandlot when you told the story, and I thought that you were the main character fall in love with Wendy Peppercorn. That's where my head went.
Aw.
Oh,
I mean, you guys are much,
all the way.
I guess, more romantic than I am with Valen, because Valen's just like, this is yes, I made a friend, but that's just about
Val is all romance. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
he is. I think it's because he's heartbroken. I think somebody broke his heart
Wendy
and he's
Peppercorn.
never come back.
Maybe it was falafel that broke his heart.
Right. Some little Philly broke your heart, man.
Little Philly.
Did leave
Some
out
old
details, he said.
Yeah, left out a lot of details. You know, had
Oh,
like
man.
30 minutes worth of details to go into, but
Man.
alas.
That's
No,
what
we
should
did.
do.
We did always fast forward through the end. We're like, she was cute. She had a nice voice. He liked her. Moving on.
It speaks for itself.
Yeah, we know where this is going.
It's like we'll leave that up
You
to the
all know
imagination.
that you've seen enough rom-coms to know where this crazy.
That's where it's going.
Boy meets girl, boy saves girl from hunters, boy falls in love,
Classic meet
I
cute.
know.
Yeah.
Classic.
Just how it works.
All right. Well, then, Danny, you passed it on to Chris. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Boy.
Yep.
I'm
Oh,
very
man.
excited to see what happens next.
Yep. And I stayed with well, I thought we're doing the theme of just doing ourselves and because he Stoic did. I was like,
that's
I guess
fine.
I'm just
Yeah.
doing myself.
I like it. I honestly, either way,
Uh,
there is no wrong way to tell a good story so long as
That's
you tell it
true.
to me.
Yeah,
All right, Chris,
it's
tell me the
coming.
story of Valan Wren.
It's a coming.
Guten Tag. This is Easy here, telling you the story that I heard about Valan in his youths out in the wild. I first heard the story from Stoic, who told me that one day Valan in his youth went out and tried to experience a thresh, which is a type of bush. It's a very nice bush, I suppose. It's threshy. And as he's going to this thresh, upon this moonlit village, there happened to be a carnival, and some carnies were there. Some very nice carnies. I know a few back in Vesperwind. They're very nice. Very talented. Apparently he saw a vampire who turned into a bat and flew through a hoop. He met a dwarf, a bearded dwarf woman that apparently sang like an angel. So much so that he was captivated by her voice, and this compelled him to go deep within the circus to find her. For what reason, I'm not quite sure. I guess just to, get to know dwarf women. I guess monks are good and are into that kind of thing. So he went there and he could not find her, but had a suspicion that she was trapped in a cave. So he listened to his monk senses, deep down within his meditation, right there in the middle of the circus. People are like, who's this? I mean, obviously people aren't going to think twice about the man meditating in the middle of this three-ring circus, and the bears are dancing and things. And so he decided to go and try to find her, and apparently rescued her from a cave. And he was so happy that he couldn't believe it. And she's like, my name's Falafel. And he's like, I love falafel. I love falafel. It's very good. Apparently her voice is good enough to be compared to falafel. So that's Valan's story, as I hear. Yeah. Weird, crazy, yeah.
Woo! And that's
Nothing.
it. No
Nothing.
rescue, no nothing. Just falafels all day.
He did give me a power that I would like to use as just like I want to use that in game where
Your
I can
monk
just like
senses
meditate
are
and know where to
tingling.
go, where to find someone. So Doug, just keep that in mind. I'd like to use that power from now on.
You can try.
Powers.
So when I was listening to Stoic again, I was listening to Danny's story. I don't know why, but I pondered on like, how did he find her? How did they get to the cave? And I lost where Danny was. I was like, oh crap. Somehow I missed the story of how he got to the cave. I was like, all right, he's gonna meditate. He's a monk. I don't know.
I love it.
That's
I
good.
absolutely love it.
Oh, that's good.
It's so good.
That's probably my favorite one so far.
That
I
was so good.
thoroughly enjoyed that.
I love that she's a bearded woman now, though. and that
bearded
you're, like,
dwarf.
in love
Bearded
with her.
dwarf.
Yep. Oh,
Have you-
but I had to. What was it? What was it with the thrush again? I forgot what you said with the
Thresh.
thrush, but it was a little X-rated there. It's like,
I invented an automobile, and now I've invented what you do in an automobile.
Park.
Park the car.
I won't lie,
Oh.
though. I got slightly distracted as soon as you said it was a bearded dwarf woman, because my dream as a child was to grow up and become a bearded lady. Dead
Watch
serious.
Vampire's Apprentice.
Dead
It's
serious.
Salma Hayek, I think, is the actress's name, and she's the bearded lady. And like,
I dreams of being a bearded lady, and it wasn't until like maybe 3 years ago that I discovered there was only 2 ways that women became bearded ladies. They had either a predisposition for facial hair growth anyway, or more than likely they cut other people's hair and glued it to their face.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's a hard pass.
Yeah.
Unpleasant.
Yeah. I mean, I can do the second.
I've dreamed of being a bearded man
Mhm.
in my life, but this is it. I haven't shaved in like 6 months.
Me neither. I haven't shaved in
All
6
I get.
Oh man.
But what you lack in facial hair, you make up for in sexy healing hands.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
Those
You're
are hairy.
welcome.
Those are hairy too.
Hey, hot.
Oh man.
Creates insulation.
Hey. Chris, that story was so good.
It was.
so
Thank
good.
you.
God, it just went off the rails so much.
It's
in,
so
like, the
hard.
But it was
best way
such a
possible.
good journey. I had so much fun in that story. I had no idea where I was, but I had fun getting there.
I
Oh,
thought my story
man.
was a little predictable. Like yours, I had no idea what was going on. I loved it.
It was quintessential easy.
I know.
Like just spot on.
Sidetracks, just new ideas were thrown in there.
I'd expect nothing less from easy.
That's true. I went on. I gave quite a gem over to Doug. Oh man.
You just like I don't know what happened in that story version, but it was marvelous. It was so good. And I do like that we've graduated him. Like when he told his story, he was just a young apprentice, and now we're like, he's a full-blown monk on his own. Going renegade.
Rogue monk.
Capturing the hearts of bearded dwarfs everywhere.
I mean, have you seen Valan? Like,
Yep.
who wouldn't fall in love with that?
I
Like,
mean,
come on.
exactly.
I don't know a bearded dwarf that wouldn't.
And you know quite a few.
I've figured out the new ability that Valan should have. Instead of like sensing good and evil, he senses only bearded female dwarfs within a 600-foot area or a 600-yard area.
That's a
I
good
sense something.
ability.
But do you imagine how
I'd
terrifying that
have
would be? If,
advantage on charisma checks with him.
what if
Probably a
Doug
good
comes
thing
back
because
with
Vala doesn't have much charisma.
600 bearded dwarfs in your vicinity?
What?
That's
Ew,
scary.
that was like a Tinder moment. Like, there's 600 bearded dwarfs in your area.
Valan
Like,
goes on his
right to
own
find
story.
more.
My own campaign, doing my own thing.
When we so you mean on the first day of our campaign when we met you at the wanted poster, you were just trying to find hot singles in your area.
Yep. I mean, because like that's the D&D version of match. Like that's where you go to like find your
The tavern,
you know,
Yeah, go to the tavern, go to your wanted poster page,
That's
your
the
wall, find the cute ones.
SB D single bearded dwarf lady looking for.
You know, they never talk about that in the history books, but like that had to have been a thing. If they had giant like billboards where there's like stuff, there had to be personal ads. Like there had to be people that are like, you know, lonely widow seeking bearded dwarf who's really a man. Like, I don't know, but like something.
Well, I was thinking more like I have 2 daughters and I need 10 goats, but you know,
My God,
yeah,
tomato,
that's what I was
tomato.
thinking of,
yeah.
I mean,
I'll trade
10
$2
goats.
for 10 goats.
10 goats for $2? Like,
A lot of goats.
They're very
Oh
good
my
looking
gosh.
daughters.
I was like,
Yeah.
they better be attractive women. That's all I gotta say. Sexism.
I mean, they've got
Tasty.
beards that just go down to here. Yeah.
And
They know how to cook falafel.
Huge
Tracts
tracts of land.
All right, good job, team. I'm proud of both of you.
Yep.
Proud of
I
you.
love that when I did because the moment I did is like I know where this is going and I'm okay
Mhm.
with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just love the casual sexism of it all. A+ in my book.
Yep.
I'm not trying to shut it down. I'm just pointing it out. We can make jokes. I just want us to know where we are in our story.
Oh yeah.
Just want us to know.
Oh man.
And on that uncomfortable note, Tara would like to then shift gears to our last storyteller for this round. So Chris, you passed it on to Doug, our glorious DM, to close out this beautiful, crazy story about
this beautiful
love
train
in
wreck.
the time of Carnivals. So without any further
And that's the
ado,
name of the episode now. Love in the Time of Carnivals.
All right, Doug, send it home.
Hello, my name is Valan Wren. One time, when I was young, I wanted to experience a bush called a thresh and decided to seek one out. And as I was seeking, I came across a moonlit town, wherein this town was a circus, or a carnival, if you will, full of lots of interesting people and creatures, including a vampire that turned into a bat and flew through a hoop, and many other wonders, including a bearded dwarf woman who sang with great beauty, and I was enthralled by her voice. And after she finished performing, I wanted to seek her out to get to know her better. Monks are known for having a thing for bearded dwarf women. So I went to seek her out, but had trouble finding her as I went deeper into the carnival. So I decided to sit down and meditate right there in the middle of the carnival as bears danced around me, and people didn't really have a problem with it. They just went about their time at the carnival. And so I meditated and felt her presence in a cave and went to seek her out, where I did indeed find her, to find out that her name was Falafel. And I told her that I very much liked falafels. And that's the end of my story.
Yes, that was a great end to all this.
Yes.
That was so good.
I think the problem with Valan now, I understand him more as a character. He's got a lot of pent-up sexual frustration.
Very much so.
That turned into your wet dream. That's exactly
apparently so.
The
Yes.
whole story was.
Oh, it's
so man, wow.
So it's canon now, right?
Yep.
Like the DM stated.
Yeah.
Monks have a thing for bearded dwarf women. Like worldwide, it's now a thing.
The moment you commit to a monastery,
put it to the page. It is now canon.
Wizards of the Coast, that's for you, man. That's for you guys.
You're welcome.
Now, just adding to your your whole complex system of races and classes and all of that. Yeah.
But man, that was spot on from my rendition. I can't say anything.
Yeah, I mean that was impressive.
Oh,
just
that was good.
Thank you guys so much for taking that story in the direction that you did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was amazing.
I'm just really happy that falafel stayed the whole rest.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
Even Danny got to remember the name, and Danny doesn't remember names.
No.
Oh man.
The vegan vampire stayed pretty far. We still had the vampire, but we lost the vegan part.
Yeah, the vegan
also
part
me. Yeah.
I mean, we lost an entire character, like our little
I bet.
Sandy blonde hair girl,
Yeah, she got lost in the shuffle.
That's okay.
Yeah, she's fodder.
She's fodder. Ooh, that's rough.
She was nothing compared to the bearded dwarf.
That's right. She was
paled in comparison.
She was tertiary.
Although I really do love that, like, the obsession for this character got like more it got so intense that I literally sat in the middle of chaos to like hunt her down in my mind.
That was amazing. Just meditating a while. Bears danced around me.
I know. I love that detail.
I'm not even thinking about like bears as in the animal. I'm thinking about bears as in bear with me. Just a bunch of bears.
In his cute little like nice outfit that he got and the little hat, and he's just like doing this the whole time.
Dancing around.
Maybe doing the
hello,
like
my
the walk.
baby.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my
ragtime gal.
So
you made my heart go wild.
This is happening, right?
Yes.
We're gonna
dance
around you next time.
We need some art of that now. That would be
I know.
fantastic.
I would like that.
Oh man.
Eventually, we're gonna have to try and do like what all great sitcoms do, and have that one musical episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Where something happens and we all have to sing all of our lines
I
for the whole
that
session.
Oh,
I'm here for it. I'm down for it. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
go. Let's go.
go.
I'm getting some flop sweat without even having
Oh man.
as
It's
an
like-
imminent threat. Yeah.
An imminent threat. I threaten you
Oh.
with opera.
No.
Yeah, we're going all in.
Oh, that would be Sora, wouldn't it?
What?
She'd go from Russian to like, if she had to sing her lines, it would be opera, wouldn't it?
It would be.
That so fits.
Like Der Valkyrie. Yeah, we're gonna go like full ring cycle. Oh yeah, it's happening.
Imagine you just pull out one of those like Greek tragedy masks. Like, where did you get that from?
And
Easy.
I was gonna say I'm gonna do everything like you guys are doing like a typical song. I'm just gonna transform it into a polka.
Oh, see, I thought for sure you were going like hate metal, dude. And you're gonna be like,
Oh wow, you're
like
right.
what is that?
Good.
Desh du Hashnish or whatever it is. that
Rammstein?
Yes.
Rammstein, yeah.
Yep.
that Easy's just gonna Rammstein like all of his oldest words.
You should do it.
I mean, honestly, that wouldn't be too hard for me to do because I would just be making up stuff that had ush somewhere in the word the whole time.
I mean,
Schnitzel.
I mean, honestly, that's
Oh.
just how all of us singers do it anyway. We work really hard to remember all of it, and then the day of the actual performance happens, and
Snippet.
about third of the way through, your mind goes a little bit blank. You go on autopilot, and you go, you know what? I think I sing all those words correct. We'll find out when I hear the recording later. Just start making them up. It'll be great. It'll be great.
It's fine. No
It's
problem.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. No
It's
problem.
great. It's fine.
Yeah, it's good. Good.
Fine. Yeah. Cool. Okay. To circle it back, full circle it. We're gonna watch the very first one, so Valen's original story, and then we will end with and then we'll go straight to Doug's version of the story, so we can see
Full transition.
the full
Okay.
transition.
Full Monty.
We're gonna work.
Whoa,
Ooh.
kids
I've
show,
worked-
buddy.
I've worked on that show before. All right. With that said, Valen, Doug.
Enjoy.
I would like to tell you all a story, if you would permit me. It's a tale of a chance encounter with a traveling troupe of entertainers. It was during my time as an apprentice in the Order, and touring Carnival, visited a village just outside the Blush. Moonstone was its name, of the village, not the Carnival. No, the Carnival was called Karloff's Spectacular Cadre of Curiosities and Wonders, and it was spectacular indeed. One of the acts included a vegan vampire, vegan in that he sustained himself solely on animal blood, who would dive gracefully toward a tiny metallic hoop, and at the last possible second, he would transform himself into a bat and swoosh through. There was also a sandy blonde halfling girl who would change into all manner of beasts, birds, and the like, after which she proceeded to perform some of the most breathtaking and awe-inspiring stunts that I've ever seen. The best member of the troupe, though, that had to be a young goblin girl named Philofty. She had the voice which came from the heavens themselves, and with it she entranced all. I was no different, which perhaps partially compelled me in what happened next. It was after the show when we, my fellow apprentices and I, had overheard Karloff speaking with the authorities. It turns out that Philofty was nowhere to be found, and this was very unlike her. So, eager to help and eager to be of service, we quickly went on the hunt to try and find her. It only took us an hour or two to track her down, and she was in a cave that was being patrolled by a small gnoll hunting party. And not to our surprise, there were a few other hostages being held there as well. So we sprung into action, distracting the gnolls long enough to save the captives and make our way back to Moonstone. And as a show of gratitude for Philofty's return, Karloff made a sizable donation to our temple. And as a way to check up on her and make sure she was okay, I visited with Philofty every day until the carnival departed. During that time, we would talk. She about Carnival life and me about life at the monastery. She would speak in Goblin and me in Elvish, translating for one another as we went. That's been some time now, years ago, and I often wonder how she's doing.
Hello, my name is Valan Wren. One time, when I was young, I wanted to experience a bush called a thresh, and decided to seek one out. And as I was seeking, I came across a moonlit town, wherein this town was a circus, or a carnival, if you will, full of lots of interesting people and creatures, including a vampire that turned into a bat and flew through a hoop, and many other wonders, including a bearded dwarf woman who sang with great beauty, and I was enthralled by her voice. And after she finished performing, I wanted to seek her out to get to know her better. Monks are known for having a thing for bearded dwarf women. So I went to seek her out, but had trouble finding her as I went deeper into the carnival. So I decided to sit down and meditate right there in the middle of the carnival as bears danced around me, and people didn't really have a problem with it. They just went about their time at the carnival. And so I meditated and felt her presence in a cave and went to seek her out, where I did indeed find her, to find out that her name was Falafel. And I told her that I very much liked falafels. And that's the end of my story.
I love falafels too.
Oh man, I love that story. But like from the first one to the last, like it's not even the same story. Really, it's completely different.
I love it. I love experiencing a bush, and I'm
yes.
like, yeah, you do.
The experiencing of a bush was by far
called a thresh.
Yes.
Called a thresh.
Yes.
Called a thresh.
But it really is a story about two people sharing their love of falafels. Like, story over. Love falafels.
Subtext. That's the subtext of the whole story. Is the love of falafels. Yeah.
Yep.
This is a whole. That's how I like to tell my stories. Very layered, and like there's just stuff you have to dig deep into, and
like an onion.
Falafels is definitely part of it.
Like ogres.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Ogres are very layered.
I mean, where do monks get access to falafel? I don't even know.
They gotta grind it down themselves. They gotta go through the whole process.
He was in training, y'all. That's why he didn't know, because he wasn't a full-blown monk yet. He had to learn.
It's not a wax-on, wax-off process. It's a grind-on, grind-off.
A special rock called a falafeler stone.
Falafeler stone.
Oh. Yep. Canon.
We just had someone in chat say that monks are known for having a thing for dwarf women. Needs to be a T-shirt. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yes, done.
I'm here for this.
Yes.
100,000 million billion %.
Like, that's one of those things that doesn't even need context.
No,
doesn't need context.
It doesn't help. Context is not going to help explain that at all.
Nope.
Oh man. I would wear that shirt. every day.
Yep.
Me in the supermarket, people would be like, "What's that shirt?" And I'd be like, "You don't need to know." And then they're gonna have to. They're gonna. Yeah. It's gonna.
They'll be. Yeah. They're in.
What do you think it means? It's completely up to interpretation. Yeah.
True. I'd be fine with like just a shirt that says "I love bearded dwarf women."
Are you a monk?
I would rock that. Yeah, and then on the back, monk life. Like,
monk life.
Hashtag monk life.
Monk life.
Yes.
Monk's gonna monk.
Yep.
Oh man.
You know how they're like actors do it in the dark and like all that stuff, or actors do it on stage. Like it's just gonna be monks do it in the middle of a circus, and there's gonna be no context for what any of this means.
Oh, I really want like the nickname for like a chickpea bush to be a thresh. I just really want that to be a thing.
Chickpea bush?
A chickpea bush should be known as a thresh. Somehow, if we say it enough, it'll become a thing in the dictionary.
Sure.
I mean, I've already ruined that spell that I can never remember because I call it
Sexy healing hands.
Healing hands.
Sexy healing hands. Yeah.
Sexy healing hands.
Healing hands.
I know it has a real name. I just don't remember.
Oh no, that's the real name now.
Yeah.
No, that's what it's called.
Yep.
All right, D&D, I need you to update your books with the new information.
Step it up.
Step
We're
it up.
helping them out tonight, and we're doing all this for free. So
I know, right?
it's roast. You want to throw us some love? We're doing a lot of stuff for you for free tonight.
Where's the love gone?
Where
There's
is
dwarf ladies, chickpeas, thrush.
Yeah, the black eyed peas
Waffles.
keeping the bean theme alive.
Apparently, the
Ask that
love
very
is with
question.
bearded dwarven women. That's where the love is. So
Hey.
Ooh.
Next week, I'm just going to come in with a full beard.
Whenever I see a bearded dwarf woman, all I can think about is throwing a gnome down the stairs.
Yeah.
Hey, one time.
This is actually twice, if you count what you did last week. I'm just saying.
I
It was
throw another
it was a
gnome.
very rough version of throwing the dwarf down the stairs, but you went there.
Oh, is that what we're going to call them now? We're going to call them gnomes when I...
Oh no.
Sure, yeah.
It's fine.
Then
It's fine.
then technically I threw the gnome and fed it to somebody.
Yep.
So
Oh. Ugh.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I'm still not okay about it. I'm still not.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd almost forgotten about it till right at that moment. Right at that
Sorry.
moment.
I'm
Thanks.
so sorry. I'm
The
so sorry
nightmares
for
have just stopped. Thank you.
I know. I did not sleep after last week. I had nightmares about what I did.
Like after that game, my wife came downstairs and I'm just sitting on the couch drinking, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No,
no."
I'm so sorry.
I got to unpack what happened in this game. I can't go to bed right now."
Yeah.
I blame Doug.
Sure.
Doug made me do it.
The DM made me do it.
DM made me do it. You'll just have to if you haven't seen that, you're gonna have to go back and watch.
We can't. Yeah, we can't tell you
that
what
that last week's episode because not only did we have an amazing guest person come in because Fran's amazing, and we experienced quite a lot of new characters, new information, and
yes,
some stuff happened.
Yep. Last week's episode was pretty packed with just things.
Oh, it took a corner. It turned a corner, and it happened. It happened.
That episode should have a trigger warning. Just
warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did not expect you to try to go toe to toe with the guy.
Well.
Yeah, well, that's Asura. That's what Asura does.
Listen, Asura does not half-ass anything. She whole asses her way into every situation.
As we've learned, we know that now.
So just this is what you need to expect. I'm not showing up, kind of, sort of there. It's gonna happen. Just be prepared.
Yeah, so you guys can find that on YouTube. I think we still got the VOD on Twitch, so you guys want to watch that.
Or just watch that clip of us, like when we all discovered that information that Fran dropped on us.
Yeah,
and we were all like,
Dude, you guys' face is amazing.
I'm sorry.
Just kind of going along, and then that was like a standstill moment. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Coming in for big function.
It was like I literally for a split second, like after that, all that information came out, I was like, I can't do that, dude. Like I was ready to just be like, nope, that's not real. That's not happening. I'm just gonna move on.
Yep. Oh man.
Fred's like, I watched that clip 4 times.
Fran, I love you so much. Like
yes.
the fact that you kept that information from us. I
Mm-hmm.
love you and I hate you. Like that was so good. That was so good. And how dare you? That was so good.
But it was crazy too because like you guys danced around it earlier, and
we did.
And then she didn't actually give you the name or anything.
No.
I re-listened to it and I was like, man, that's impressive because it didn't come out till she spoke with Kotak. I'm like, wow, we missed that by just Like this much.
This much. By this much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'm really excited to get back into another episode next week
Yes.
of Everwind because
Yes.
this campaign is
Mhm.
insane.
Mhm.
But I'm also very excited to come back not next week but the week after so we can do another episode of this.
Woo!
Because I love listening to everyone's stories. These are so lovely. I love learning more about these characters. They bring such joy in my soul. And have we figured out who's going next?
We were going to try to figure it out before stream, but we didn't. So
we did not.
we'll post it or something.
Well, it'll just be a surprise. We'll just
Be a surprise.
Yeah.
It'll be a surprise for everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we'll find out. So we'll find out next time who is telling their story. So we'll learn about another character in the world of Everwind.
And these, I don't know if everybody knows this, but these are like canon stories. These are stories that our characters experienced.
Yep. So whatever you tell us, it's true now.
The
Just the
start was
last
finished.
version.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The last version.
That's the one
The
that
last
counts.
version is canon. That was the trick the whole time. The last version of the story is what we keep as canon.
No,
Doesn't matter what you say.
So Doug just has to have us go through like an alternate dimension, and that is the truth of our characters in the other dimension.
There you go.
I like that.
Whatever story Doug tells is the canon story.
Oh,
exactly.
God.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh God. That's more terrifying.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, I thank you all again for another wonderful
Yes, thank
time.
you.
So much fun.
I had so much fun. I hope y'all are too. Danny, it was so nice to have you back because it was really
Yay.
sad to have you last time.
Yeah.
And it's especially nice to have our magic producer extraordinaire who makes
Yes.
all of this happen because
The
without him,
best.
we as you saw last stream, if you were with us, we had some technical issues to get ourselves up and running.
I appreciate Anthony so much. I have a whole new appreciation on top of the previous appreciation.
Like we already knew that like he was the reason we were able to do anything, but like it solidified that we were like, oh yeah, no, like we really he's the reason we were able to do any of this. So I just want I hope all of you will send a little love towards the people you don't get to see on screen who make this at all possible, especially like everyone who's out in chat and just everyone. So we love you all and we're very appreciative for that. And we'll have another fun story coming up in 2 weeks, and we'll have another episode of Everwind next week, and hopefully Fran's back for that one.
I hope so.
Should be.
Because there's so much more to happen.
We have many more questions.
So many more questions.
Many more.
Yeah. So thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Any final parting thoughts from anyone else?
Thank you guys for stopping by.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe
out there.
Stay safe.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night.